So we're here in Montana, and thought while we're in Montana, do some video making. I would be doing a disservice if I didn't do so. I'm visiting my dad, right there, my production manager, and I'm gonna show him a thing or two, and he's gonna ask some questions, and I'm not used to doing this, so we'll just see how it works.
Getting prepared for his next YouTube video. Got to button up them pants under that protection. Hey Pat, we're out here along the river and it's pretty windy today. And we're gonna build a fire. I'm not exactly sure how you're gonna get out of the wind to do this because I don't see the way.
So the wind is primarily blowing in this direction, so I'm gonna use the log as a windstop, and then I'm gonna dig a little hole in here as best I can to try to get my fire under the ground. Now, the ground is wet, so it would be better to do this up there. But we're gonna see if we, well, for the sake of training, we're gonna see if we can do it here. We can lay some stuff under here to get it off of the wet ground and get our fire going. We're gonna, for the sake, like I said, for the sake of training, we're gonna do it right here. Guys, so what we'll do is we'll try to get this hole dug best we can, and then we'll get a bunch of, we'll grab some wood and whatever, we'll make a base, get it off there, and then we'll build our fire on that base.
I got you.
But for right now, I just need to dig this hole, so I
got we got plenty of wood behind us if we need it. So the fire doesn't got to be very big or what?
I don't need it to be very big, I just need it to burn all of this.
Okay.
There's a lot of rocks.
And those coals will be turned into a filtration device, huh? Right on. All right, well, it's a pretty windy day out here and it's switching every which direction. It's gonna be quite the challenge. What is it, you got down at the bottom there as a base now?
Yeah, so I'm making a base because the sand's wet.
Oh,
I'm making a base to set my Tinder bundle on, and my Tinder bundle, we found all these, like, I don't know if it came from a birch tree or what, but all these shards, these are gonna be awesome. And then and then I have a bunch of cotton here that from Cottonwoods, and that's gonna be a flash tinder to help ignite this. But all of this we shouldn't have any trouble getting.
Are you gonna build one of them bird nest things?
Yep.
Right,
so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just trying to process this into a bird's nest, just like so. And I have tons more of stuff right here if needed. So the purpose of a bird's nest is that I want to be able to it's going to transform a spark or a tiny flame into a much bigger flame, so then I can transfer it into my kindling in order to build my fire. We don't want to build a big fire for this, for what we're doing, but I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this cottonwood stuff and some of the grasses. Now, the grass, I don't really advise using grass too much, just because grass holds a lot of moisture. So what I did in this instance was I just ran my hands along the dead grass, and whatever just came up with my hands is the dead stuff. I'm not pulling any out of the ground.
Right.
So basically what I have is I have my flash tinder in the middle with my cottonwood, and then I have just this really hairy bark all the way around it. And the bird's nest, the best way to think about a bird's nest is starting in fine and then working your way out to more coarse. And what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully this will work and we'll catch a break where there's from the wind.
Do it right now, hurry up.
Yeah, because I'm going to put it in here, I'm going to get it ignited, and then I'm going to have to coerce it or coax it on.
What's that thing?
This is my fire starting necklace that I make. Just a miniature ferro rod and a striker, where a paracord around your neck.
Oh, that's pretty convenient though. You want to keep it in a pocket, out of the way, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. I can make them into bracelets, necklaces.
Do they last a long time?
Oh yeah.
All right,
so the flash tinder.
There it goes.
Going a little bit. Here it goes. So we'll get this other stuff lit.
There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, boy, I can't believe you're doing this in this wind. It's crazy windy out here.
And then from right here, I'll just set some of my kindling on top of it, so it'll catch.
That's not too much?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. And then the wind will actually, now at this point, the wind will actually help it to catch.
Yeah, you threw too much kindling on there, that fire would go out, huh?
Oh yeah.
Just crush it. Nice. First shot right out the gate. So what's that thing called that you started it with again? I'm sorry.
That was my fire starting necklace.
That's what it's called?
That's what I call it.
I guess there's no misunderstanding
And
what
so
it's
the purpose
for,
of
huh?
this fire is I'm just trying to create a bunch of coals, because the purpose of this first video is how to make a charcoal filter when you don't have a filter. So as you can see, it's burning good now. So I'm just going to start stacking up my fuel on there, and we're just going to let it burn, and so we can create some coals.
How much is some coals?
Well, when it gets a good coal bed,
Like a cup's worth of coals, or how much
yeah,
coals?
like a good handful, because we're gonna basically create out of a scarf a catch.
I'm in the smoke.
So about a cup's worth of coals.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll just let that burn.
So guy don't need to have a forest fire to get some coals.
Nope, we'll just let that burn. But there you go.
Look at that.
Windy weather, no prepared material, no lighter.
Quick, fast.
Just straight off the environment.
Yeah, it didn't take no time. So do the coals got to be a minimum or a maximum of some size or anything like that?
No.
So they don't just get into the water?
No, it don't matter.
Okay.
The water's gonna flow through them.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how like coffee grounds get in your coffee sometimes? That's what I was
the coal's
wondering.
gonna get through anyways, but it don't matter, because charcoal is a filter. It doesn't harm your system if you get a little bit of coals in your.
So it ain't gonna hurt you none.
It ain't gonna hurt you none.
Yeah.
All right, so an item that people take for granted is not having some sort of scarf or material with them. Often when I was in the military and we were out in doing training as if we were in a denied area, we'd have to source our own water and filter our own water, purify our own water. And a lot of times we didn't, well, none of the time we had any of these devices. So what we would use is we would use socks, we'd use our shirts, whatever, if we found a stagnant body of water. So I'm going to show you how to use a piece of material, which this Shamog, which is an underrated part of your kit. I'm going to show you how to use this as a makeshift field water filter.
Why do you call that a shamog? What's a
This is called
shamog?
a Shamog.
Okay, it's not
That's
just a
what
scarf. I mean, is it made of special materials? Where it come from?
It's made of cotton. It's just, I don't know exactly where it comes from, but it's popularized with Middle Eastern.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay. Why do they use it so much?
We wore these in the Middle East to keep sand out of our face, and you know, wore them like bandanas to keep the sweat off our brow and stuff. And if I get this freaking thing,
Is there
off,
something unique about them over, say, a typical scarf that somebody else might wear?
One of the arguments that people have is, what do you wear in the outdoors? Cotton, wool, synthetic materials, whatever, right? In a desert environment where it's wet, or excuse me, where it's dry and it's hot, cotton is king, because cotton will absorb the sweat and cotton will hold the sweat there, which is also why it's dangerous to wear in cold environments, because it'll hold the sweat against your body and you'll freeze. But if you're in the desert in a dry, arid, hot environment, the cotton will hold the moisture against your body, which is why you wear it as a head wrap. You wear it around your head. It'll hold your moisture from your sweat against your head and keep you cooler.
Gotcha.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this up.
I guess considering you're filtering it, it doesn't matter that you do it upstream of yourself or anything, right?
For this to work, I need two sources of reservoirs. I need one where I can collect my water, and I need my drinking receptacle, right? Caution again that just because I filter this does not make it safe to drink. I still need to boil it. I still need to purify it with iodine tablets, what have you. Okay, but this is just the purpose of this video is to just show a makeshift filter. All right, so now that we have our fire and our coals are ready.
Are they nice and cold now, right?
Well, yeah, they're cold. They're cold to the touch.
Okay.
And what's nice too is we can use this sand as well to help us.
The sand that was wet underneath it initially, right?
Well, they're all over too.
Right. Okay.
So,
Whoa.
knowing this prevents you also from having to spend a lot of money for bags and other sources that will use or that will do the same thing I'm about to show you. Again, t-shirt, sock, whatever. It's just some sort of membrane. Okay, so a lot of times what we would do in the field is we would just collect the sand. A little warm right there. And this has rocks in it, so that'll be fine. We'll get some sand here.
Well, the theory is kind of the same like when you get well water out of your house. The reason it's clean is because it's been filtered through rocks and sand and such.
Okay, so I just get a handful of that. And the coals are cool to the touch.
About a cup's worth, you think, huh?
About a cup's worth, yeah.
Or a handful, whatever.
Okay, so I go ahead and collect up my Shamog, and then what I'm gonna do is I put it over my bottle. And you don't need a lot, because what I'm going to do basically from here is I'm just going to kind of put it into my bottle right there as a little catch.
Just in through the mouth, huh?
Just in through the mouth there.
All right.
Okay. So then all I have to do from here is just pour it in.
Yeah, you can hold it with your feet probably and do your thing. Oh, there you go. Got the bottle by full of those.
And then it's going to filter through all the sand and all the charcoal that's in the mouthpiece right here. So it might be a little bit of a process there, but it's going to filter through all of that and then make its way into the bottle eventually. You can hear it draining into the bottle. There you go. You would just continue that. Let me see how much we got in here. Yeah, you would just continue to do that, and then you have essentially filtered water, but it still looks really gross because we just went through sand and charcoal and stuff. Now, none of which is going to hurt you, but again, I would still advise you to put iodine in it, boil it if you can, or through some sort of filtration device, or activate it, some purification process prior to drinking. So, but that's how we would do it in the field, and that's essentially what you can do out in the field as well, to make yourself a makeshift filter in the bush. And then what we would do in the field when we were done with that is we put it into our canteens, and then we'd put a couple iodine tablets in, and that was it. We'd be good to go. It didn't taste the best, but it was water.
Does that iodine stuff have like a shelf life in your canteen? You got to drink it in a certain period of time, or last all day if you want?
All the instructions for iodine are on the bottle, but you just put one tablet in per 1 quart of water, and then you wait like 15-30 minutes, whatever it says on the bottle, and then it's safe. And then it's safe to drink.
Even if I didn't use it all day long. Correct. I mean, a little. It's okay.
All right, so that is our day. Pops and I out on the Flathead River for this segment of Wednesday Wisdom. Tune in next week when I teach him something else that he may or may not care about. You got anything to say, Dad?
No, I do care about this. You know, you'd be surprised how much of this I don't know. I'm glad I fooled you all those years.
Yeah. All right. Till next week, prepare, train, survive. Wednesday Wisdom. Subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. Hit me up.